All right, guys, so I'm going to give you a rundown of the conditions for the day. Today is one of the warmer days we're going to have. I'm actually not on Top Secret Lake S. I forgot to film the intro for that video, so I'm doing it on another lake, getting ready to hit the water here. So forgive me for that. But here's the deal. It's probably going to be a tough day. The water temps are 47 degrees. You know, I'd really like to see them start creeping up into that 50, 51, 52. Those low to mid 50s would be great. Really get those fish up and biting. It's flooded. It should be clearing up. They're moving a little bit of water right now, but I don't think that's going to play a huge factor in what we're going to see today. We're going to be looking for those really early pre-spawn fish. You know, a couple of the baits, if you go back and you look at one of the spring, early season spring baits video, if you haven't already seen it, go check that out. You're going to be seeing a lot of those baits today. You know, it's going to be a grind, 47 degree. The air temperature is going to get up to about 63. And it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. Wished I could get out tomorrow or, you know, go fishing. But, you know, it's really going to be... probably going to be a better day with better conditions, and the water temps are going to warm up. Then bottom's going to fall out of it, and it'll be another week before I get on the water. All right, let's get to this. We're going to start out picking this pocket apart. It's the last deep water before we get to a flat. We're tossing a spinnerbait right now. I don't think this is going to be the deal, but we're going to keep them honest. 47 degree water temp. We're going to fish this flat just to see if we get any takers. Now I'm going to pick a crankbait up and I'm going to throw it as we go down this flat. So I started to jump across and fish a steeper bank, but as I got to the point leading into this cove, I started noticing the water temps were going up. Now this cove was actually protected from that northern wind, and the farther I got in, the more shad I seen and the higher the water temp got. But as you can see, we threw the A-rig, we threw the jerkbait, we even flipped a few docks, we threw a swim bait, we Demiki rigged. So finally we got to the steeper bank and we pulled out the recon shad. So this creek didn't pan out. We jumped behind the big motor and off to the next. Holy cow, guys, what a tough day. We fished bluff, we fished several points, we fished, you know, some flats. There are a few fish on this point. And so what I'm doing is I'm throwing a big, you know, a trout color swim bait out here. I know they stocked this lake with trout here the past few months. And so I'm just slow rolling it from deep to shallow. Fan casting this point right now. Oh boy, I just got nailed. Oh, shouldn't have swung. So after several more casts, we didn't get another taker on that point. I started to leave this creek, and I looked across the water and I seen a really nice 45-degree bank that led to a main lake point. And I decided to try it. Didn't get to go Sunday. The boat's been good today. It's still doing that little, you know, rawr. Oh, there's a good one. Oh yeah. Come on, bad boy. There you go. Hell yeah. That's a good one. All right, guys, throwing an A-rig. I have fished crankbaits on flats. I have fished points. I have fished pretty much, you name it, I have fished it. Caught this one on an A-rig. He's pretty solid. Nice little brownie. He is cold. And he has got some bug eyes. Look at them bug eyes. So we're gonna put him in the box, see what we can get put together. This is a steep bank next to a main lake point, and it's protected from the northern wind. That may be our deal right there. So before I get into telling you about the actual rod reel line combo that I'm using, guys, I want to show you something. I said this in my video, if you go back and watch the how to fish an Alabama rig. Now this is my TRC cover, and one of the things I do is I don't use a casting cover on my, say, big crankbait rods and on my Alabama rig rods. And one of the reasons why is because I can slide this down over my cover. It's a little big. I use an actual spinning rod cover, and that allows me to really snug it up and keep that Alabama rig compressed and up against my rod, my reel, so it doesn't get tangled in a lot of the other rods and reels in line that I have in my rod locker. You seen how tough it was today. You know, I covered a lot of water. It felt like I fished pretty hard, but you know, obviously just didn't hit the right areas. You know, I do believe the one fish that I caught, he was out off the bank. A lot of the shad, a lot of the fish that I was seeing were out off the bank suspended with that water dropping, and at 47 degrees, it was at least clearing up. So we were in some clear water. And the one bite I got today, of course, came on this. You know, guys, I love my TRC covers. I always make sure that I keep my rod covered with my TRC covers. But the one bite I got today came off this. This is the Alabama rig. All it is basically a Flash Mob Junior. You know, I had the blades. I had 1/8 ounce heads all the way around. You know, only 3 hooks in Tennessee. I changed it up a little bit. I actually had the white flash on, and that's what I got bit on. And it was a bank that was, you know, a 45-degree bank. It was directly connected to the you know, main lake point. Again, this is my BB1, guys. I can't believe how well this thing cast. This is my Lose. This is their custom speed stick plus. It is the Super Duty 2, and I get a lot of questions from you guys after that last video about exactly what it was, you know, what kind of rod and reel that I use. This is the Lose. Now, the odd thing about this is set up for their Alabama rig. But the thing about their Alabama rig, about this Alabama rig rod, it's rated as a medium heavy, moderate fast tip. So it's got a nice soft tip. I mean, you can really get some distance. This BB1 Pro is amazing, and I do run it at a 6.4-to-1. It's a little faster reel, but I can really slow down with it. You know, I got on the boat with a guy that won a BFL last year, and he was throwing a 6.4. Now, it was later in the year. Water temps were really mid to upper 50s. We were fishing the last deep water. Again, I'll put a link in that up here somewhere so you can go check that out. But most of the time, when you're looking for an Alabama rig setup, this is what I recommend. Look at the weight you can throw. I like something that's rated to throw as little as a 1/2 ounce all the way up to 3 ounces. The heavier side is more important. The length is important. To me, 7.6, I'll tell you, you can get away with throwing that. I think it's a little too short. I like a 7.11, and that's what both of my Alabama rig rods are. Like I said, this is a medium heavy, but the other rod combo that I use, it's a 711 heavy rod with a fast action, but it's rated for the same exact lure weight that this rod is rated for. Now on that rod, however, it does have a 5:4 to 1 reel gear ratio, which is going to be a little slower. Now I throw it, if you're first starting out, I recommend you throw it on mono. It gives you a little more give, so you're not going to snap that off. You know, I've had guys like, well, I don't understand why you don't just throw straight braid. You're not going to tell me that braid or fish are going to see the braid when you're throwing those heavy wires. Well, here's the kicker to throwing those heavy wires. When I'm bringing this through those fish for 30 yards, this fluorocarbon, they're not seeing those heavy wires for that 30 yards that this line is coming through that group of fish. That's the difference. Now, you can say that's BS or what. It's how I feel about it. Everybody fishes their own way. It's like I say, the fish will tell you what's right. So don't necessarily listen to me. Listen to what the fish tell you. My preference, because I fish clear water, I'm throwing it on 20 to 25 pound. The lower the better. Even 15 pound fluorocarbon at times. And like I said, this is coming by the fish because you're fishing it horizontally much earlier and longer. By the time they get to the A-rig, the flash and the baits are what's drawing their attention, not the wire. So you told me you wanted to see my tough days. This was definitely a tough one. We did put in, you know, about a 3-pound smallmouth. That made me happy. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, questions and comments in the comment section below. You know I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Make sure you ring that bell so you get the notifications when these videos come out. I'm going to be doing a lot of work to my new boat very soon. I'm going to have some videos covering that. And you guys rock.